Welcome back another week to Downforce discussions, where we are going to talk about the Monaco Grand Prix and if the two stops were the best option. I mean, you're happy Lando win. You're happy about that.
Oh yes, I
I'm not
am.
happy. It was nice while it lasted. Something positive about this weekend in Spain, for example, is that they did the F1 Kids. And when
Mhm.
Fernando was out, I was like, switching. I'm going to watch. And the graphics are so cool. They are like, I don't know, these toys like Funko Pops. It's so cute. I love it. I love
Like
it.
on Spanish TV?
Well, they started doing it in Sky Sports, because a friend of
Yeah.
mine, shout out to Easy, she's the one coordinating all the kids, which is really cool. And yeah, now they do it in Spanish TV as well.
Oh, okay. We don't have that on French TV,
It's
but
really cool.
we get like pretty often we have like exclusive interviews with Laurent Mekies, like the team
Mhm.
principal of uh the team. And yeah, like it's really cool because like we get exclusive interviews of him speaking French like on the pit wall and stuff. So that's pretty nice.
That's nice. I hope he had well, he's with Visa Cash App. He had a
Yeah.
pretty good weekend. Both of his drivers score points.
Yeah. Isaac was sixth and Lawson, where
Ninth,
was Lawson?
ninth,
Ninth.
eighth. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the graphic earlier with the race results, but I forgot already. So,
It's fine.
but yeah.
It was a race to forget for some. George Russell.
Yeah,
I
the
think at one
Mercedes.
point, yeah, they forgot they had to do a double pit stop or something. Because what do you
Yeah.
mean you're pitting the last two pit stops at the end of the race? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing the two pit stops like next year and stuff.
I don't know because it was boring and everyone was like lapped. Everyone but Hamilton was lapped. The rest, it was so
Yeah.
awful.
It was a mess. Like the blue flags and stuff, and I mean it's Monaco, so like it's hard to pass
And
even
this
when there's a blue flag. So
the start, like I thought London Charles were going against the wall. And then Kimi was like, bye Gabri, tutu. You stay here, we leave. And
yeah, the
yeah,
way I screamed at the start, I was like, "Oh my God!"
the thing is was like because in MotoGP there was a red flag due to oil on track. They lapped, and I almost missed the start because I was watching the end of MotoGP, and I was like, ah,
Yeah,
awful,
yeah.
awful.
I did get to watch MotoGP, but I know like Fabio started like P1 like on pole and he DNF'd.
He had a
Yeah.
6 second gap. He was like the Max Verstappen of MotoGP, and then the bike was like, "You're
Oh,
not finishing."
I need to watch the race maybe tonight if I have time or something.
He
But
was
yeah,
crying.
yeah,
Tom
I
was
saw.
Tom was with him, and I was like, "My boy, why?"
I managed to watch some of F2. I only watched the sprint race, and oh my God, what
I
a race
mean,
to watch!
Spring Race was a-okay, but the feature, dude, the start. I
Oh
was
no, wait. Oh, that was the feature. Oh yeah, so I watched
Sunday.
that one then. Yeah.
What the first race for you?
Yeah, I mean it's not the first time I watch F2. I watched quite a bit last year, the end of the season, but this year I
Mhm.
haven't really had the time because I'm usually pretty busy on weekends. But yeah, like this weekend I managed to watch a bit and I was like, all right, okay.
I was so sad because Pepe's car was fine. And
Yeah.
what I still don't understand is why two of them, like Amaury Cordial and Sami Megatunif, were allowed to join the race where they when their cars were pushed by stewards.
Yeah, and there was this whole mess with like Gabriele Mini, and he was just like stuck
Chilling in the
somewhere
car.
waiting, and he was like, "I'm staying in the car, just yeah." And then his engineer like, "We're going directly by foot to them, like we're gonna talk about it and stuff." And I was like, "Wow,
My
yeah,
my driver of the race was Victor Martin. Martin, or how do you
Mm-hmm.
pronounce that? Because he's French.
Martins.
What did he think he is? Max Verstappen with the French
Yeah.
accent. He was so good. And at the beginning, I thought Pepe was trying to like calm him down, but he was like, "If you
Yeah.
hit him, I'll back you up." Like, bro,
Yeah, the French commentators, they were like, "What? Why is he beefing with Pepe?" And then
no,
they were like, "Oh no, okay, okay, he's rallying him up. Like, what's going on?" And like the French commentators, I kept thinking of Megan because they hated Alex Dune or Dunn. I don't know. They say it both ways, and like they kept being like, "He completely ruined Victor's race. What was he
well,
doing?"
he ruined his maneuver because, I mean, 9 races, 9. The DNF list was, and I not going to quote, I'm going to, oops, sorry, that was Charles Leclerc Instagram story, like ex-girlfriend, like Charlotte Instagram story. How did it get there? I don't know. Um, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DNFs and his. It was Pepe, Ritmo Millata, Victor, Gabriele, Max Stersens, and Richard Verschoors. And then the Porsche Super Cup happened more or less the same.
I saw some clips of it on Instagram and
It
I was like, damn,
it was a
two?
3 minute after everything. It was a 3 minute race with the red flag and the barriers and everything. The Porsche Super Cup was
Oh,
3 minutes and a lap race. They were more
wow.
all of that was more exciting than F1, literally. I was
Yeah, yeah, F1, yeah, it was not as eventful.
I was sent because one of my students, she was like, "Can you text me what's going on? I'm working in a football tournament, blah blah blah." And I was texting her, and one of my comments was, let me check. I'm not understanding anything, and I tend to be good at reading races.
What race was that about?
We have one race. That was my
Yeah.
comment on the what because I don't understand how they did the pit stops in order for having such big gaps that every single car that was not in the top 5 was lapped. I did not get that.
Yeah, that's also because Lawson like made a pretty big gap on purpose so Ajari wouldn't lose time and so then it was just a train behind
And then everyone
everyone like
copied this strategy, which Williams and George Russell, he was like, "I'm going to take the penalty. I don't care." And I was like, "Oh, that's going to be a 10-second, 5 second." And I see drive through. When was the last time we had a drive through in F1? Years ago. Like I don't
wasn't
recall.
it last year? I think like Lando got one for, restarting when the race when he wasn't supposed to. Wasn't it a drive-through?
That's Brazil. Brazil is a
I
blur.
think.
Like I don't remember Brazil. Okay, I was coming home from London. It was the craziest race ever. I don't remember
Yeah.
Brazil,
Yeah, it was a mess.
but yeah,
I don't
there's
blame you.
the only interesting thing that happened in F1 was F1 deciding to hard land in his girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh
When
my
I saw
God.
her, I was like, "Oh God, poor girl. The land of fans are going like fangirls are going to riot. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for you." Like I know,
No,
I
it's just like he's got his parents in the paddock. Why aren't you showing his parents? Like, why are you showing her?
like I understand that she has a bad reputation and all of that. But poor girl, like everyone makes mistakes when we were young. Like when we didn't know what COVID was and we were sent home and all of that, I was like, we're gonna be fine. It's going to be just like it's a virus. It's like the flu. Nothing's gonna happen because we
Yeah.
had no idea of what was going to happen. And
Yeah,
those,
then we were stuck inside for months.
so I understand that some comments she made in the past were hurtful, but maybe she doesn't think like that anymore. But it's true that she has not like come forward and say, "Hey, I was young and naive, and this is wrong, and I admit I did it wrong, and well, and also cheating on your boyfriend, it's not okay."
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
understand the
yeah.
slander, but I don't think it's necessary when some things have been shown that she didn't have her front lobe developed yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, whatever, in Wugs drama, that's usual, especially, I mean, I'm a
I
Lando fan, so I'm used
I
to
just
it,
love
but
reading it. I just love reading it. And it's like sometimes, that Sixth Sense, like I'm
mhm.
like, this is not going to end up pretty well. And then they break up, and I was like, I knew something was wrong with them. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just for me, it's been so weird like this past like year or two to see so many F1 drivers dating people like my age. I'm just like, what do you mean Alexandra is from 2003 as well? Like, what do
mm,
you mean? I'm just
yeah,
like, huh? When I started watching F1, like I was a baby, like no, but and now I'm like, oh, they're dating people my age.
just
Okay.
some of the walks were months old when Fernando was winning his first race, and they don't remember that, and I remember it. Like sometimes, the Brazil race, for example, it was, and there was a Red Bull show run in Madrid. So
Mhm.
instead of commenting the race from the booth they usually do in the studios, they took it to Red Bull show run and they commented with Pepe. And
Oh.
in one of the red flags, they were talking about something. And he was like, yeah, because this accident is similar to one that Fernando had in 2000. And I think they said 2003 in Brazil, that Mark Webber had an accident. His car literally was broken in the middle of the track, and Fernando hit one of the tires and he lost control. And I remember Pepe saying something like, oh, yeah, it was like he was born in June and that was in October. 5 months old, 4 months old. And I was like, dude, I remember that. No, 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 I'm lying. He was with that, with the first world champion in 2005, because they were commenting like, yeah, because this happened in 2003. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's the same year he won, right? I was not alive then. And I was like, attack. Because,
Way to
and the
make
other
you
one was
feel
like,
old.
exactly. And I was like, I was 5. What do you mean you were not born yet? And then I remember he's born in 2005, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's when I realized Kimmy's birth year, I'm like, huh?
mm,
What? Like, yeah, some of the F2 drivers, I'm like, they make me feel old, and I'm just 22. And
same,
I'm like, wow,
same,
okay.
same, same. You talked about
Yeah.
old, dude. Hi, hi.
Yeah, Arvid, I'm like, what do you mean this guy is 17? What do you mean? He's got
Yeah.
more facial hair than I do. I'm jealous.
Arvid Lindblad and I have a 10-year gap. Just let that sit in. I have students the age of Arvid. Literally, I could help Arvid with his homework because that's my job.
But I think he'll be fine. He's British.
Well, I also do Spanish and history, okay?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
Damn.
when you study education in Spain, it's like general, and then you have minors that you can focalize on something. And if they call me from a
Mhm.
school and they need a general teacher, like one that gives Spanish, science, blah, 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 I
Mhm.
can do that. But I prefer to
Ah,
work with English.
oh, yeah, yeah, because you teach kids, so it's general. Yeah, in France it's the same. The teacher does everything, even sports,
Oh,
and
no,
they're just there
they have,
like, run, run.
I could never. The only sport I do is watching Formula One and screaming on TV.
Yeah, I mean that honestly, you're like more like athletic than any of the teachers I had, and they would just be like in the corner, like, yeah, run, do something, kids, and they're just sitting there like talking, and yeah,
Mm.
they don't.
Monica was so
Lando
excited.
won.
Yeah, I was so like, oh my god, he's going to cry on the podium, because Monaco is this special race that everyone wants to win. because
Mhm.
it's one of the jewels of the crown that we spoke last week. And talking about the jewels of the crown, my I'm not going to say mate because we are not friends, but Alex Palou, who is Spanish as well,
Mhm.
he won the Indy 500 with an amazing strategy because he was, I'm not going to say cleverer than everyone else, but he was smarter. He knew how to play his push to pass and all that stuff. And he did it. The first oval he wins, and it's freaking Indy 500.
Yeah.
Mad at Pato because I did not like his interview after it, like saying that he was lucky.
That
Yeah.
reminds me that's like yeah, yeah, some drivers and some drivers like yeah, Lando said that, but like it wasn't what he meant and it was like twisted as per usual and shit like that. So
And
I didn't get to watch the IndyCar either, but I heard someone like drove into their pit crew
oh yeah,
and there was a
Robert
car on
Schwartzman.
fire and like
I was so like, oh my god, Robert, because I know someone who is a mechanic for that car, but I've never like we follow each other on Instagram, but I've never like find his face when they are doing the indie. And I was like, oh, what if he wrote if it's him? What if it's him? Oh my god. And then yeah,
oh,
Rossi's car caught on fire and the mechanic that was next to the fuel thingy caught on fire as well. And I was like, oh my god, flashbacks. Yeah.
I need to watch that. I've got so many races to watch.
And
Wow.
then you have one of the only like Penske car that had an opportunity to like win because the other ones were sent to the back of the grid because they cheated. Yeah,
What did they do?
there was something in the car that they like touched to be faster. For what I understood, I don't understand mechanics of IndyCar yet. I have to work on that. So yeah, they were sent from 11th and 12th to 32nd and 33rd, which are the last two positions. And the one that kept his position in P10, they were doing the warm up laps before starting. He lost control of the car and he crashed before the race had started.
Oh, that's Lance Stroll of IndyCar.
No, because he actually has won a couple of races and done things. And it
Uh,
was one time, okay? Poor lad. It was one time and it was Brazil last year. I think he should get a pass because not many drivers finish that nightmare of a race.
yeah, but at least they started it.
Yeah, well,
I'm
they
sorry,
they
I
also
forgot you were a Lance Stroll defender.
well no, but I'm an Aston Martin girly. But I'm mad at Aston Martin. They have it
Yeah,
coming next Grand Prix. We're
I
at
mean,
home.
I'm a
They are
McLaren fan. Like, trust me, I am mad at my team every day. I
but
know the feeling.
they played a good strategy. I was like, when Lando was like, "Where's Oscar? I need him right here." And he was like, "They are coming. He's coming. He's coming." And then, did you see the radio message Louis sent to the team? Something was happening. I guess something was happening on the radio, and that's what he was not getting any like instructions or anything. And he was like, "Are you mad at me or something?"
Yeah, oh my
I
God,
mean,
the silence treatment. It's like a breakup on live TV. Like, it's bad. Oh my God.
I was saying, I know Luis, he's one of the goats of the sport, okay? He, Michael, Fernando, Seb, they are really good. But did he really think that Ferrari, that it's project that is done around Charles Leclerc, even though he's 7 world time champion and everything, that was going to change?
No.
It was shown and the other was it in Miami or in Imola when he was like, "Do you want me to let him pass as well with Carlos?"
Imola, I think.
I don't remember
No,
where
I
it
don't know.
was, but that's the thing. Ferrari is built around Charles the same way Red Bull is built around Max.
Max.
The same way McLaren was built around Lando until Oscar was like, "Hey, I also have potential." I think right now on the grid, the most fair to both drivers team, it's McLaren.
Yep, agreed.
That's my opinion. They can come for me in the comments. I completely accepted. But seeing that, and they let them fight. But then whoever is faster gets the prime. I know Imola was like Lando could have gotten over, like could have over swap positions with Oscar earlier, but it was a safety car release. Everyone was piled up, and Max had the upper hand. He was controlling like that race like crazy.
Yeah.
He could
But
have tried.
the championship gap is so tiny now.
Yeah, it is. It
Mm-hmm.
is. It's like an F2, like between the first
Mm-hmm.
and
Luke
the
Browning.
in between Luke Browning, who is the first now, and Pepe, who is seventh. There's a 20 something gap. Like someone fumbles a race, and that is like,
Did you see Max made a Franz Ferdinand like merch line? Like this guy, he is so good with like his merch team is so good. Like when he had his kid as well, they did like price off on all the kids' merch. Like
and and he was in the same racing while everyone was in the premiere, and Lance had just stuff, and he didn't show up, which I think it's hilarious because that movie, you know, when movies are like so bad, they promote them so much. That's the feeling I'm having here. Like if I watch that movie, it's because I want to see the podium things and all the scenes that they shot with the actual drivers.
yeah,
The only
me
reason
too.
I want to watch that movie. Not the
Yeah, I mean, I saw a moment where they showed like engineer engineers and
fun.
they all had like Mac like laptops and it's like no engineer in F1
Sorry.
uses Apple like I don't know even the drivers when they were asked their opinion about the movie like
Insert Max TikTok.
F1 drivers did not enjoy the F1 movie as much as they're letting on. I'm going to read you some quotes. Kimi Antonelli said, "It was a bit long." Esteban Ocon, "I would have liked to have seen more race focus and less crashing points." What happens in this movie? Lando Norris, "I was brilliant in it, and that's the main thing." Carlos Sainz, "You can tell they're a bit Hollywood-esque."
So good talking about that. Like so good. She shares the opinion of every single driver that has said something. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
just
She's
like
so good.
PR response.
Totally. Okay,
Oh.
it's over. Okay, now I will look like a Simpson for the rest. I'm sorry, I thought it was charged. It usually lasts me for three podcasts.
Weeks. Oh.
Yeah, I don't use it
Yeah.
outside the podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend the other day. She was like on Spotify, and then she sent me a screenshot of one of the songs from the F1 movie, and she was like, "They're making an F1 movie?" Because like, she doesn't know anything about F1. Like I taught her that like the 24 hours of Le Mans are not F1 cars 2 days ago. So yeah,
He's getting
and
there.
she was like, they're making a movie about F1. Like I'm sure you knew, but like, what do you think about it? And I just made a 3 minutes voice note,
I
and I was
mean,
like, well,
if you want to see an F1 movie, Rush is such a good one.
yeah,
And
mm,
the actors are so well chosen as well. Like they
mm.
resembled with the characterization and everything so good.
Pitt, I mean, like he's like so old. I mean, I'm sorry, but just like, man, come on. We're already joking about like Fernando Alonso being like a rookie, but like he's old for F1 and stuff. But Brad Pitt, come
Yeah.
on, like
And something I forgot to mention, we mentioned F2, we mentioned F1, we mentioned Porsche
IndyCar,
and IndyCar. What about my boys on F3? Like P1 and P3 and P2. Like Roman is not from my
damn,
team, but he's my boy. Like the dude literally almost died last year because he was run over, and now he's P2 in Monaco. Like that is
congrats.
my podium. Like I was so happy seeing them in the podium, like Campos, then Roman. Yeah, they're my boys.
You got a nice podium, at least
I
in one
did.
category.
I mean, I would have preferred Mari winning, but he qualified worse than the other two. So it is what it is. But I'm happy with Nicola winning because that means Campos is cutting like points in the championship against Triden, who didn't get that many points. And it's funny to think that the less accident, the race with less accidents was F3. Literally, the ones that they go like freaking psychos to get each other. And they were like, just chill.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
to safety cars, but that's it. Nothing big. And then you have two races with red flag, one that ends up like just being 3 minutes long. The other one is like no one knows what's happening. Team forget to pit, other teams pit way too much. Nico
yeah.
Hulkenberg, I did not realize that, but I just read on the internet that okay, Gabri had to do 3 pit stops because he had to have his front wing changed. But Nico did 3 as well because they didn't know what to do and they just pit him and pit him and pit him.
Okay.
And then Williams doing amazing strategy, copying the Visa Cash App strategy. Then Alex paid the bill when he took George and Carmen and Lily to dinner and he paid the bill like, sorry for making your race hell. Here you go, I paid the bill. And then
Yeah, honestly, it's quite shameful, but I fell asleep during the F1 race at some point because I was on a night out the night before, and at some point I was just in my couch and I was like, huh, there's not much action, and I fell asleep at some point.
oh my goodness. You can't do that next week because I'll be showing on your screen as much as I can.
I know. I'm so excited to just be like, I'm not on
Yeah.
my TV.
Yeah, especially the youngest like series. I'm going
Mm,
to be mad because I have
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of signs. I'm working on them. My dad probably is as we speaking because my dad usually doesn't live with me and my mom because
Mhm.
they're redoing a house and he's the one redoing the house, so he's there
Yeah.
all the time. But he came for the Grand Prix and he's upstairs probably now working on the billboards, the signs, the whatever you want to call them, because we have a lot of people from Spain or Spanish
Yeah,
speakers on the grid, on every grid.
true.
But I'm not having for every single Colapinto fan, I don't have enough time to create one of them, okay? I'm reusing the ones I have from last year's, and I don't have time to do one for Colapinto. Not that I hate him, but I don't have time.
Yeah,
I'll repay him the coffee in another moment. He has his own career.
true.
Okay. I don't have time.
I'm excited. I need to try and watch all the series I can to see you everywhere.
Because I'm also like a friend of mine who is actually the one that got me the tickets because she got into the web page before I did and she actually bought my tickets with my bag, my credit card, blah blah blah. I gave her the number. She did it for me. Her brother has a friend who is racing in the Porsche Super Cup and he's number 14. So we're going to be rooting for every single category once another year. Not
Damn,
F1 Academy. No biggie. We have the Porsche Super Cup with Mikel. So that's it.
damn.
What's
You
your
know so many people.
yeah, well, that's what happens when you go to the Carlos stand and you're like, yeah, let's go. Come on. That's me.
Yeah.
I I get to the track before the first session and I leave the track once the last session is finished. Because
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that think that if you're paying for it, you have to watch everything.
Yeah, I do the same at MotoGP because like it's always insane because so many people just stay like and sleep on their spot, and I usually get there at like 5:30 in the morning, and you're already like quite in the back because like I
That,
never get stands. I'm just standing like on the grass. But
that's why
yeah,
I like stands, especially because in end of May, beginning of June, even if rain is not forecast, there's a big possibility it rains, and I don't like to get muddy.
I prefer getting muddy than like the sun we get usually on the MotoGP and the 24 hours of Le Mans. Like it's so heavy. Like I don't like being warm. I hate that.
No, because my dad, he's a genius, okay? He could be an engineer if he wanted. He could be another Anthony if he wanted. But I don't know what he's going to do with an umbrella, but we will have shade, literally. Because we have the seats at the top of the stand where you have the barriers on to not fall. So he'll do something, but we'll have like a sun umbrella or something. So
I've never been to an F1 race. I
oh,
really, that's so sad.
if
Yeah.
you pick a good one in a good stand, you're going to have the best time ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, I know. I mean, now like there's no GP in France anymore. Monaco, I don't have the money for that, but I'm thinking maybe Belgium. I might try to go someday, hopefully. I don't know. But like I know a guy, he was like my dad's ex-boss, and he was in Monaco this weekend, and
I
he's
had
just
that.
there because like he's freaking rich, but like he doesn't know anything basically about F1, and so it's just very
Yeah,
frustrating.
yeah. No, they do it for because it's glamorous to go there, I guess. Like a lot of famous people.
There
How
was like
many?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. The only people, well, we have 2 minutes. There are famous people that I'm like, yes, please show up to every single race. And those are like Michael Douglas. Like he literally knows he's a Formula One Wikipedia, that actor. And Patrick Dempsey, like Derek Shepard. That dude, it's not only an actor, he's a driver and he has a
Yeah.
team at some don't remember which category, but he has.
I mean, he's raced in Le Mans.
True.
Yeah, like
And
he's always there. And I know like so many when I was a teen, so many girls went to the drivers' parade just to see him like as like an actor. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, who? Like
so
I never watched Grey's Anatomy.
predictions for Spain before we run out of time.
You go first.
Oh, as long as I don't hear the Dutch anthem again, I was singing it by heart last year when I was leaving the track. I guess I'll go Lando, Oscar, George. Just why? Why not?
I'll say Lando, Oscar. I'm still manifesting for Kimi on the podium, so I'll keep saying it until it happens.
Every single time we say Kimi on the podium, he has a bad race. So stop it.
But I've been saying it since the beginning, and he's had some good races. We never know.
Okay. So that
Please,
was
Kimi.
that was all for today, and we'll catch up with you after my home Grand Prix in Barcelona
Yes.
next weekend.
And
Bye.
hopefully the five of us this time.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.